In Virginia, a trial is underway where a father stands accused of killing his wife and another man. Opening statements began this morning in the case against 40-year-old Brendan Banfield. He has pleaded not guilty to charges including aggravated murder. Prosecutors say Banfield had a romantic relationship with the family's au pair and that he worked with her to carry out a double murder. And that au pair just took the stand in this trial. Let's bring in NBC News correspondent Ellison Barber, who's been following this minute to minute, really. I heard you listening to some of the testimony as you walked in. There are a lot of layers in this case. Walk us through what we're hearing from the au pair so far.
Yeah, so this is a huge moment because a lot of the case has centered on her testimony. She was the first person police arrested and charged in this attack, in this incident, initially just with one murder, with the murder of the man who prosecutors say was a stranger who had basically been tricked into coming to this house, and that it was part of the husband, the defendant in this case, Brendan Banfield's plan to try and create a fake home intruder situation where he could kill his wife, and this man was essentially a victim. So the au pair was arrested initially after she had been in custody for a while. She decided to cooperate, accepted a plea deal with prosecutors, and part of that deal meant taking the stand. We're seeing that happen right now. When she walked in about 15 minutes ago, she walked past the defendant's table. They seemed to not make eye contact. She sat on the stand, and she has been establishing how she came to be with this family. At one point when she was talking about the daughter, who was 3.5 when she first started working with the family, 4 when her mother was murdered. She started to tear up on the stand, getting emotional. Brendan Banfield was aggressively taking notes at that point. I want to play you some of what we have heard in just really the last 10 minutes of the exchanges back and forth with the prosecutors asking the au pair, Juliana Perez Magales, some questions.
Did he ever talk about the two of you getting married or the two of you having children?
Yes.
And do you recall when that talk began?
Also, after he mentioned his plan.
She's referred a few times so far to him mentioning the plan. What she and prosecutors have said in previous statements and video statements that she has given, what they have established thus far today, is they say that plan was to set up this scenario where he would be able to kill his wife so that he did not have to divorce her. Juliana testified that it was about money, it was about custody, that he said divorce was not an option, that this was the only way.
We saw him sitting in the courtroom there, I think, right? That was him. This young child, where is that child now?
So last we'd heard she was with her grandparents. She was 4 when all of this happened. One of the horrific aspects of this is both Juliana and the young girl and Brendan had left the house that morning when this other man, Joseph Ryan, came in. But when Juliana and Brendan came back to the house, they brought that little girl with them. She was in the basement when police arrived at the scene, unharmed, but obviously traumatized by what happened that day.
All right, Ellison Barber keeping an eye on that. It's getting a lot of attention. Thank you.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.